In the opening of Episode 6, Season 2 of Squid Game, the pace accelerates. The parallel threads of escape, confrontation, and structural collapse converge. The narrative tension is sharpened when Gi-hun finally confronts the full weight of what he's become part of and what he might be able to undo. The writers give us no easy victories. The chase for the island, the evacuation plan, the countdown bombs beneath the game structure, all of this embeds the final game within real-time urgency and heightened danger. According to recap sources, the timer linked to bombs was triggered as the evacuation began, which adds physical stakes to an already emotionally fraught moment. What stands out most in this finale is the moral and thematic layering. It isn't just about who wins the game, but what the game means. Gi-hun's decision when faced with a choice between self-preservation and protecting an innocent infant is incredibly potent. The baby is not simply a contestant, but a symbol of hope, renewal, and perhaps the possibility of change, what one critic described as the baby representing the future generation. The moment when Gi-hun clasps the baby, turns to the VIP audience and declares, "We are not horses. We are humans, humans are," is the emotional climax, and the fact that he doesn't finish the sentence intensifies the moment. The ellipsis becomes part of the meaning. In execution, the final duel between Gi-hun and Myung-gi, player 333, atop the towers is one of the show's most visceral and psychologically loaded sequences. The environment, a collapsing bridge, the threat to the baby, the timer ticking down mirrors the internal collapse of ethics, alliances, and expectations. Myung-gi's betrayal of his child, his willingness to use the infant as leverage, marks the nadir of the human cost of the game. Meanwhile, Gi-hun's upward climb, his grasping for a moral exit, positions him as both hero and tragic figure. But in a strange twist, even this climax is rendered ambiguous. Because no one presses the button to officially start the round, Myung-gi's death is invalid in game terms. So Gi-hun wins by a kind of moral default, not a game mechanic. The radical decision by the creators to have Gi-hun sacrifice himself, he leaps from the tower, is both bold and divisive. On one hand, it fulfills a narrative arc. He refuses to join the system, he refuses to treat humans as game pieces, and so he gives himself over. Critics praise the moment for encapsulating the series' message about humanity. On the other hand, many viewers found it unsatisfying, especially because the villain in Ho, the front man, survives unpunished, and the game itself persists. One Reddit commentator wrote, "They killed off Gi-hun, the heart of Squid Game, just a lazy, miserable death." This tension between catharsis and frustration pervades the episode. You feel its power, but you also feel its incompleteness. From a production standpoint, Episode 6 stands out in its craft. The cinematography of the final towers, the art direction of the collapsing game arena, the framing of the VIPs watching the game as spectators. It all reinforces the critique of spectacle, dehumanization, and commodified violence. Reviewers note the episode captures everything the creator seems to have wanted to say with this series, about making a sane stance from the depths of an insane world. The sound design of the countdown, the emptiness after the game ends, and the visual contrast of the innocent baby against brutalized adults all combine to make the finale emotionally resonant. However, the episode is also weighed down by narrative baggage and some structural issues. The subplot involving Jun-ho, the detective brother, and his inability to stop the game, though thrilling at times, ends